Today we're going to be looking at making winter hanging baskets in the sweltering September sunshine. Which might seem a bit daft, but actually while it's still warm the plant's going to put on a lot of growth, and that way you're going to get some nice big bushy growth and you're going to have more flowers to enjoy through the winter time. So the really canny way to do this is to own two sets of baskets, and that way you can have your summer baskets up still enjoying them while you've got your winter ones are maturing. So at Katie's Garden our most basic mix is pansies and violas and a bit of ivy, which is only £12, we get the basket as well. You're really definitely looking at pansies and violas for the winter time. It's just unbeatable really for the colour. They're winterproof, so they can cope with all the frosts, the snow, they don't mind that. They will just flower and flower, and also very good value and come in pretty much every colour under the sun. Now, if you want something a bit more impressive, you tend to be looking at evergreen perennials and baby shrubs, which is what we use. So we've got here in our pots, we've got a young hebe there that's given us a bit of height and a bit of interest. We've got shrubby honeysuckle there. And herbs as well, they could be very good. They'll do a little bit of spilling on those. We've got the curry plant there, the bugle. It's another one for a nice bit of spilling. Got a box, a bit different. Of course, Goldcrest is a very popular one, long-standing, because a nice reliable one to have. And we've got here, this one here, we put a silver bush in, convolvulus. And that's a really good thing because, of course, that's a sort of young shrub that you're getting for a nice low price. And once you're done with the basket, you can go and plant that in the garden. So you've got yourself a bonus shrub. So we're going to be having a look here at how to make some of the basics of how to do a basket. All the baskets that we sell at Katie's Garden have got plastic liner, which is good at keeping the moisture in. But that's also a bad thing because sometimes you get quite a lot of moisture in the winter time. So we always put some drainage holes in. I favour doing them, make sure I don't stab myself, about a third of the way. So you're just going to go through there and I'm going to make 3 of them. Again, without stabbing myself. And that way, that compost is always going to stay nice and damp, unless you really don't water for a long time. So that'll give you a nice bit of well, so it's always a backup, but it's also not going to waterlog. So centrepiece, if you want something showy, you're looking at cyclamen. So I should get that there. These are only hardy to about -5, so you might find that once you're really into the teeth of winter, they might start to shrug on that. But they're a lovely bright colour to have. We should just put ourselves some around. Again, with our grander mixes, we have trailing pansies. They come in a nice range of colours. This is what you'll see in the Debenhams. If you've admired any of them, they have come from us. We're very proud of that. Good old ivy. You've always got to have ivy. There again, that's going to give us a nice bit of trail. And I'm going for a nice multicoloured one here. You can go for nice tasteful theme ones, like we've got lovely here, sort of the blues and purples and silvers. And then you'll see here, this is a sort of hot colour one. But I'm going nice and bright and cheerful for this one. Now you can use multi-purpose compost, that will do well for you. Definitely anything that we do in pots and baskets, always the long release fertiliser, makes a world of difference. Again, you just get much stronger, healthier plants. Without any problems, they just grow bigger. Now, I'm going to cheat here. We have lots of packs of pansies and violas. We also do what we call viola trios, which is a mix of 3 colours in ones, and that's a nice cheats way of getting lots of colour in there. This is my favourite one that we've got at the moment. I'm afraid we haven't run to coming up with names for them. I think that was Trio A. I'm going to put another ivy in here. You're going to plant fairly close because, as I said, if you're doing it September, October time, they should do a nice bit of filling out. But they're not going to fill out as much as the summer ones do, so you do want to sort of squash them in quite a lot. Get that in there. And then we'll top up with compost, give it a good water, and then you've got a lovely bit of colour. Another option you can have is we've got the Sugar Rush wallflowers. These are a dwarf variety and they flower, as you can see, it's already started for autumn, and we'll do again in springtime as well. And they're quite a good size for a pot. You can also, things that we don't actually use ourselves but can work well, as I said, is the evergreen perennials. So especially if you're doing tubs, you can have something like a heuchera. We've got the penstemon, euphorbias. If you're a member of our Flourish Awards Club, you could use your points to get yourself a nice evergreen bluegrass. And for trailing, the periwinkle. You can see there, that might even do you a bit of flowering as well. A lot of these, you're not growing them for the flowers, it's just for the foliage to fill it out. If you've bought any of our packs in the polystyrene, these are very handy if you've got a big pot, because you can break it up, put it in the bottom, and that means you don't have to use so much compost, which obviously saves money. and also because it can get quite wet in the winter time, it stops it getting too sodden and you can have problems with the plants. People do ask us for advice on colour schemes, and really it's up to you, just have fun.